It's back. It's back again. It's that time of year, everybody. It's time for
Last Figure Standing.
Sorry.
Still sounds like a Muppet.
We spared
sounds
no
like
expense.
Animal.
Yeah.
Listen, it's better than last year, all right? It's an upgrade.
I don't know.
It's an upgrade on. Okay, John, it might not be.
Maybe if you're hard of hearing.
Oh dear. Right, welcome everybody. Let me just have a look at the chat just to make sure. Can everybody hear us on this fine Saturday evening? Let me know in the comments if you can hear us all. I'm pretty sure you can. So welcome to Last Figure Standing once again this year, 2025. These are the people that are responsible for it, that are putting all the hard work into it. We have Chris Big Tuna.
Tuna! What's up, Tuna? We gonna have some tuna for dinner? I bet you're sick of tuna, right? Probably have tuna every night. All right, tuna.
Yes.
Tuna. How you doing, Chris, buddy? All right?
Yeah, I'm a little under the weather, but doing well otherwise. Just came back from Florida. Had a work convention, and it was actually in Disney World, so I got to see Galaxy's Edge for the first time. It was my first time there.
Did you go on the rides?
I got on Rise of Resistance, and I was stuck inside for an hour because there was a huge thunderstorm and there was a power outage. So I was stuck inside Rise of Resistance for an hour. And I did get on Smuggler's Run. It was because we had a conference all day. It was the after 4 p.m. tickets, so it was kind of see Galaxy's Edge or see Hollywood Studios and die. I got on 4 rides. So
nice.
With the power outage.
Yeah, I got stuck on Rise of the Resistance as well. It seems to happen quite a lot.
Yeah.
And we also have Mr. John Miko from the Facebook group. That's him on his forklift truck.
Yeah. I might have to bring that over to Tuna's house because he's got a couple HasLabs waiting for me. Tax-free New Hampshire. Thank you. Tuna. And I will say,
I'm not sure you want to admit that. I don't know if you want to admit your sales tax dodging on a live stream.
Absolutely, yeah.
I did just get one of my HasLabs. Finally, 8 years later, everyone's sick of theirs by now, and I finally got mine. So I'm very happy for that.
Awesome. And you're good?
I'm doing all right, man. Yeah.
Good.
Year 3,
okay. Sorry, John, you go.
Year 3, baby. LFS.
Year 3. Let's do it. We also have a guest joining us today who I'm going to bring in right now. It is one of the members of the SWTVC crew. Some would say the most intelligent, but he definitely has the best mustache, and that is for sure. Here he is.
Wow.
So,
Thank you. Hello. Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
good. No offense to the other members of the
Yes.
SWTVC grant, but you did earlier tell me in the green room that you are the most intelligent of the crew.
I did not say that, but I will not deny it either. So
We all lean on your knowledge, John.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
in this specific arena, yes.
That's why you're here, John.
Yes.
That's why you're here. You know. So
most of you know me for this.
Yes.
We
Yes,
do.
Thank you.
He would be proud. He would be very proud.
I look up to him.
The most
every day,
famous.
yeah.
The most famous mustache. Anyway, we're going to say hello to some people in the chat. We have got lots of people already. We have Biker Scout, became a new member earlier. Thank you, buddy. Known Biker Scout a long time. We've got Dean Lee. We've got Little Pookie. We've got Wolf O'Lear. We've got SWTVC. Who's that? Tyler, maybe?
Probably Tyler. I think.
Clone Troop 211, we've got Bradley, we've got Scott Layton, we've got Cliff Oliveira, Mechanized, Cisco Deer, Daniel Chart's in here. If Daniel Chart's in here, I do need to be a little bit careful about reading some of the other names that might appear in this list. Not saying it's always him, but you might have some of those most haven't type names going on. Trevor Ritchie, Dave, just going to say Dave, because that is a dodgy name. Randy. We've got the Max Rebo experience. Brett on Fett. Better Ray Bob. Huckle. At one with a force. We've got Reno. How you doing, buddy? We've got Space Huts here.
Lewis.
Yep, Lewis, how you doing, buddy? We've got Paul Nurse, Nopesy, TVC Macken's in here. Excuse me. 17 decimal. Hal Runner. We've got Moondog. Loads of people talking to each other now. Paul Stevenson, Homdam, Mr. Skeesler. Nick's here. Nick is here. Charlie Mike, Blake Kemp. Arc 501st. We've got Gareth's Geek Retreat, Trevor Ritchie, Chris Rooks, Dystopian Playgrounds, Nelly Fett, Tyler. Is that maybe to my comment?
Yeah.
I was only joking. It was just a
joke.
Yeah. We have other names, lots of other people. Matt, Jeremy Brown, Jeff Russell. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Nigel Fisher. Everyone's here, which is always good to see. We've got a super chat from Boren. Super thankful for this community and specifically you guys for all the hard work. Thank you, buddy. That will go towards next year's intro video. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that, man. It's very kind of you. Luthen all the way. I've just dropped my earplug. There we go. That's it. That's it for names. Right. So we're going to get on with it. So the voting or the submissions has been going since this morning. We've already had a ton of submissions, which is great to see. Chris, do you want to just quickly remind everybody about the rules and any tips on how to enter their lists with certain costumes and things like that?
Pass. I don't want to, bore everybody because, we're getting a lot of the. Did Tyler really just do a super chat? That's already throwing me off my game.
Tyler,
Yes.
thank you, mate.
Thank you, Tyler. Very nice. Very nice.
Good dudes. Even a good mustache, if you will. He does. It's a brilliant.
Thank you.
Exceptional.
I kept it long just for this.
So I don't want to bore everybody because we're now in the third year. I'm assuming most of the people here in the chat and watching right now already know this, but we ask you to submit your 10 most wanted vintage collection figures. No ranking, just 10 most wanted. And then from there, we collate the community top 12. But in between those two steps, we have to clean the names, because in order to aggregate them, they all have to be the same name. And when we offer free form, now I just heard a figure fall too, so this is going even worse. When we allow free form names, very few people enter the same name the same way twice. A lot of misspellings, and we'll have fun with those when we announce the top 12. Well, we've already got a candidate for a funny name in the misspelling. They have to get basically what we call standardized. So in other words, if somebody enters in, I'll just look at the list right now. If somebody enters in Pelimoto the Mandalorian and somebody just enters in Pelimoto, well, in order to count those in the same bucket, they need to get standardized to the same exact name. And that's the process we do. And the same thing that John does for March Madness. It's a really fun process, isn't it, John? It's just so much fun.
I love it. How many different ways are there to say the exact same thing of Anakin, Jedi Knight, Anakin Episode 3, Anakin Episode 3, Jedi Knight, Anakin Revenge of the Sith. Oh my God. But yeah.
And like I said, the one I still love is the one we got in our first year, where it was for what I believe we now call the Jedi Arrest Palpatine.
Yep.
That one where the person, I don't think John Miko set up the form. I think he needed to limit the amount of characters that could be entered because they literally basically give a plot synopsis to describe that scene. You know that scene, Palpatine, when the Jedi come to arrest him, and he like it was this very long description. He's like, okay. So those are the challenges. We have to funnel those into the same names. And one important thing about that, and if you check the rules, is we don't allow you to vote for the same character twice. So if you vote for the same, you lose one of those votes. In the cleaning process, you could unintentionally vote for the same character twice if you're not careful. So this year, and Johnny Mustache, I think we're following your lead on this. We're just putting Luthen in as Luthen. We're not going to differentiate between the outfits because there's a lot of demand for Luthen, but we don't want it to get lost splitting the votes between Luthen. We kind of feel that we just need to get a Luthen out there for the community, and then then we can start worrying about, well, I wanted the one from the antique shop, not the one from Ferrex. I wanted the Rebel Alliance. We can worry about that. Let's get one on the board when this character hasn't been made at all. So we're not going to differentiate between all the different versions of Luthen. That means if you vote for two different versions of Luthen, you're effectively going to lose one of your votes. So just put Luthen in, this year. And again, this is in the rules. If you see the rules, we're doing the same thing for Kira. Kira splits her votes 1,500 different ways. We just need to get a Kira into Vintage Collection. Then we can worry about the other ones. And the same thing for the Republic Commando. We just need to get a Republic, Clone Commando sculpt out there. So not differentiating between Bad Batch or from the video games. I know they're technically, you could say they're different. The odds of us getting both of them are probably slim to none. So we just need to get a Republic Commando out there. But the important thing is if you vote for too many variations of these things that are getting standardized very broadly, you could lose one of your votes. So don't do that. Read the rules and make sure you do that. And the other thing is just there's Mr. Miko. If you have to go to the restroom, you don't have to ask to go to the restroom. I told you this.
What about 3PO? What are we doing for 3PO? I forget.
If you just put 3PO, it's going to A New Hope 3PO.
Okay. Are you splitting? So what if someone puts Attack of the Clones C3PO? Does it all go to the same?
Did you just make that card, John?
I did I made the droid body. The
droid body.
It's all a droid body for C3PO if you think about it, but a battle droid body. Because how we do it is C3PO, other than like Phantom Menace C3PO, one C3PO sculpt would beget every coloration of him, whether you want the silver leg or silver foot or whatever. So that's how we do it. But
we always, those ones we kind of like just see if it, sometimes we get in and see if it's going to change results.
Yeah.
If it's going to be the difference in the top 12, we'll make that call. So something like that, like right now, I would probably break them out. 3PO is going to make the top 12. I can already tell you looking at it, he's going to make the top 12. So I'm not worried about it. So just for the purposes of handing this data over to Hasbro to not lose that detail, I might split them out and just say, hey, look, not only do people want 3PO, they want this version of 3PO, this version of 3PO, they want these other C1 series, protocol droids. So here's all the, the reuse you can get out of it. So it depends on something like that. Depends on whether or not it will affect the top 12 or not. But in 3PO's case, I don't want to be a spoiler here. He made the top 12 last year. He hasn't been made. He's probably going to be even more top 12 year this year because there's another year of demand on him with that. And I had one more thing I was going to say, John, but you asked a question.
I'm sorry.
No, not you. The other John.
I see other questions I could ask in the chat about some.
Go ahead. Let's do it. We can do a little Q&A.
Someone who has been a thorn in my side, much like in Palpatine's side, is good old Mon Mothma. So, like in Rogue One and Return of the Jedi, she wears the same outfit, but it's different actresses. But if someone says Genevieve O'Reilly, do they want the Rogue One outfit or the Andor outfit? And then if she takes the blue Senate shawl on from the speech in Andor Season 2, if she takes it off and puts a different thing on, it's the Luthen Antiquity thing in Season 1. That's another one where they can kind of cancel each other out. I don't know.
That one I'm not comfortable making that determination myself.
I sort of have the assumption that she's not going to make the top 12 either way, but
no,
who knows?
No, there is a lot. There is a lot. So far, there's a lot of Mon Mothma voting. There is.
Yeah. I just need to bring this up as well, and this isn't because I always champion C-3PO, but I would never ever assume personally.
I think I don't have I'm not going to pretend to be some great insider or anything like that, but I do have some hear some things, and to the best of my knowledge, 3PO is not coming. So if you want him, I would vote for him.
Yeah,
he's not in the immediate plans.
And even if he appears on rumor lists, here and there on certain websites of our friend, those plans can change all the time. So you never know.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That is the point. Yeah, things can and do change.
Like Crosshair was on that list 2 or 3 years before he finally came out. A few others have appeared on there.
There was another comment about past winners. So past winners, people can vote for past winners if they want, can't they?
Right.
I mean, for example, last year's Shoosh won, right? So I had him on my list last year. I think I still had him in my March Madness 25, but quite low down. This year, he's not in my top 10. And that's just a choice I've made, not because I think maybe he's going to be in that 4-pack that's been mentioned or whatever. What are you doing, Chris?
Kind of matching up the hand on that shadow there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, people can make assumptions, and that 4-pack has been teased and kind of confirmed by Hasbro. So we know 4 aliens are coming. It's a hope of mine that he's going to be in there. But from my personal point of view, I've put my weight behind that enough, and I want to push something else. That's just my thoughts behind it, not because. Well, he won as well, so it's pretty clear to me that he's had a good push. Do you know what I mean? So It's time for me personally. You don't have to do what I do. If you want to put him on your list, he's fair game.
So going back to just other suggestions, we're going to link to it. Check John's dashboard. Use John's dashboard and see what names were used last year. Because again, you don't want your vote to get lost. So you want to get into one of the larger buckets. So, if you're not going to use the dashboard, be only as specific as necessary. If you get overly specific, you might become a vote of one off in your own silo. You want to get into one of the larger buckets to make sure your voice is heard. And the best way to do that is when you're wondering how to name your submission, just go to John's dashboard, John Miko's dashboard, and say, okay. And you should be able to very easily find the character you want, assuming it's not new, obviously something from, I think, Skeleton Crew or something like that. You'll have to, roll your own. But if it's something that's been year over year, you go to that dashboard and see how we standardized it, and that's 100% guarantee. Your vote will go into the right bucket. We did publish 100% last year of how we standardized all the names. It was public. I don't know if we're going to do this again this year because that required us to go through and clean up names that had one vote, and there was a lot of time spent doing that when they're not going to impact. What do we publish, John? The top? How many do we publish on your dashboard?
Tim, can you share it? I have it available to share if you want to just click on the screen to allow it. There we go. I think we put in 255.
Okay.
The top 255, right? And I hope we can do that again this year, Tuna. Please.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, there was. I think there was I can't remember how many different unique names we standardized.
Yeah, I think
I want to say it was 1,000. No, not 1,000 seems too high.
Yeah.
But so in other words, there was a lot of them that only had one vote.
Right. We cut it to we cut it to this top 255, and I think it was like any character that had I think at least 10 votes or more. I forget. Yep. Don't quote me.
That's what it looks like. I have it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is this year I don't know if I'm going to. We will visually scan and look at every single vote to make sure we're not missing anything. But if it's going to be like a one-off, I might not clean it this year because I don't think there's value in publishing the full list.
Right.
We'll probably just do, this. If it's got 10 or more, those are the ones we'll go through cleaning up just to not waste time on it with that. So again, be as specific as you need, but not overly specific. Another thing about using this dashboard is we had some complaints last year. I know we're going to show it here, and we're kind of going out of order. We scripted this thing out, and now we're already going out of order. But we got some feedback that our top 12 last year, as if we picked them. We didn't. You did, but it was very main character heavy without any of the oddballs, and that's kind of natural because the mains have their own gravity. They're when you go in the cantina, there's Han, Luke, Chewie, and Ben. There's your mains in the cantina. Then you have 100 glups in there. Well, the four mains, because they're the only mains, they're going to get all the gravity. The glups are going to fracture the votes. So if you want backgrounders, I would use this dashboard and look up the backgrounders and see which one's got the most votes. If there's several you care about, see which one's got a lot of votes last year and make sure that one gets a vote. Try to get on this. If we want to pull these backgrounders through, they just naturally fracture their own votes. So one way to do that would be to come in here and see which ones were high up on the list and vote for those if you want them. Tiebreaker.
Just to interject, if you don't mind, somebody was asking for the link to the dashboard. John, is the link to the dashboard in our Linktree?
Yeah, yes, it is.
So if I post the Linktree into the comments here, then people can look at that for themselves, can't they? Right?
Yeah. And, I can show the Linktree in a minute too after the dashboard, but you can vote there. I think some people were asking where they could vote. That voting link has been plastered all over Instagram. You can go to bantheskull.com. I don't know if it's in the description of this video, Tim, yet, but I'm sure it will be if it's not. And you can go to our Linktree, again, johnmiko.com, many different places. But yeah, so even what Chris was saying, right? I think a cool thing here that he set up with the data last year was these special themes, and he added a few themes. So if you wanted to look for prequel trilogy Jedi, you can filter down to see what those are. You can clear the filter by hitting the little clear icon. Again, you can go and look at, what do we got for Jabba's court? Plenty of glups in there, I'm sure. If not all. So it's a good way to use the dashboard. You can see any top rankings if you want. If you want to see the top 50, here we are, and you can see here, right, that this will filter down this to the top 50 vote getters last year, right? So you can see everything from Arleal to Pong Krell, number 14. You can see Dryden Voss, number 22. Dryden Voss, excuse me. John, correct anything I say.
I say
wrong.
Voss, yeah. Related to Quinlan? I don't know. Maybe there's some story to be told there. I don't know.
That's true. All the way down to Commander Cody was number 50, right? So, the dashboard does has a lot of different functionality in it. As Chris was saying, a pretty cool thing he did was not only standardize all the names, but also add the character name, right? So if you wanted to see all of, what's a good example? Kira or Leia or...
It would be Kira last year, which this is going to be different this year.
So let me start typing in here another example.
Whoa!
Oh,
sorry.
Whoa.
That's all good.
It's because I just added it in preparation. Sorry.
It's all good. So I just started typing Q. It filters it down. I select Kira. You can see those different outfits. But again, right, this year we're going to standardize that into one.
Just Kira, because you can see how many votes. I can't see. Yeah,
33 for Corellia and 30 for Kessel.
So that would have obviously pushed Kira much higher up in the overall rankings. Well into the top 50, I believe.
Yeah, if you join the votes, yeah.
Yeah, she would have been. Yep, she would have been right around 40, 48 or 9. Yeah, so there's that functionality as well. We have age demographics, right? So you can click on your age demographic and see how your age demographic did. So if I click on 25 to 34, it will filter down the rest of the dashboard, and you can see, again, just where that voting went, and you can see the source breakdown we have here. This is a tree map. The larger the square, the larger percentage amount of voting for that category. And then we have the source breakdown. So let's say you want to look at the prequel trilogy. You can click on that and filter down even more and see that Revenge of the Sith, The Phantom Menace, and then Attack of the Clones for this age group is how the rankings went down. You can clear your filters in different ways by clicking on them or clicking off the dashboard. So a lot of good data here. We break down even more into the figure details. You can go into an age group analysis and then the voting rounds if you really want to dig that far. But really, we just wanted to discuss using those standardized names or, again, looking around for any specific, groups of characters or themes you wanted to look at.
Yeah, amazing work you did on that.
This is awesome.
John.
Thank you. My hope is I got to request an enhancement to the Big Tuna here for this. Maybe we can somehow figure out at some point having years where you can look at, the current year, the prior year, etc. Bring all that together. That would be something nice for the future. But there's
denied.
No time. No, it's not enough. Not enough budget.
From a time like your personal time, John, for this one, can we just grab the data and it just plugs in? You don't have to work all this out again.
There's a lot of work that has to be done before I touch it by Mr. Big Tuna. It's one of the reasons why he's called the Big Tuna. He gets all this data, like he said. He, creates this standardized name. He does a lot of after his data cleansing, right, Chris? You did some things to create some additional dimensional fields like special themes. The droid, me and him worked through it. Like, hey, it'd be cool if it had this indicator or this indicator, and that capability comes in. And now, yes, so if we do all of those same things, then I can plug it into this if I don't want to update any of the features of the dashboard.
Yeah.
Before he ages out, Tim, I think it was Matthew Brazier at would be 10:27 your time. About the Kiras. Absolutely, those are two. We know those are very different costumes, but I think the theory would be that there's no collector that would wants one and definitely does not want the other. I think we're safe in saying that any collector that wants one would want the other. So let's get one done rather than splitting the votes. Just let Hasbro see the demand for Kira, get one done, and then we can get into specifics on that. And it's the same for Luthen. The costumes are very different, but we got to get a Luthen before we can start worrying about
Yeah, because if a Kira was announced, you're not going to go. Well, you might go for a second. Oh man, I wish that was the Kira from X, Y, or Z. But then you'd go. But at least we're getting a Kira. So
it's just like Carson Teva. Some people wanted just the flight suit. Some people wanted the bomber jacket. But rather than we're happy. We got one. We got Carson Teva. Good. Now we can start asking for the flight suit. Now that's on. Now we can get specific and clearly message which one we want.
And I think with our on March Madness for Kira, we do separate her her prologue outfit and her rest of the movie outfit, which is similar to her comic outfits. So I have been splitting them, but once she gets on the bracket, then all Akira fans vote for her regardless. And then, then we can say, okay, we want this or that. But anybody who wants Kira is gonna vote for that one. So, and every character is a different choice, so you got to just make decisions and stick with them. And everybody can have different opinions, but
because everybody that's voting for Kira would prefer her to actually get into the top 12 than not. So, it's probably a good thing that we're doing that.
And
if you voted for one.
Yeah, and with her, we're probably not talking the top 12, but it is a difference between, being below the fold or above the fold for the top 50. So it's just to give the character visibility.
I put a link, Nigel. I put a link in this chat. Link to the list. What list do you want? The dashboard. So I'll post the link again. That's the link, Nigel. That's the Linktree. So if you click on that, everything's in there you need for the whole thing. So dashboards, the lot.
Can you have that scrolling, Tim? Maybe that's a good little scrolling at the bottom thing, if that's not too much trouble.
I think I might be able to. Yeah.
But and I can show that really quick while you're doing that. I can show the. Do I have to stop and then show another? Really quick here. I will show the Linktree. And again, kudos to the SWTBC guys. This was a great idea to centralize posts. So thank you.
Yes, we can learn from each other.
That's right.
And then people are still going to ask the same question 100 times anyway. So get ready for that.
So here on our Linktree, right? Obviously, there's the link to our live stream here. You can click vote here to vote. That will take you to the Google form where you will enter your top 10 most wanted, and then also add your age demographics if you want. Sorry, was this not sharing? Or it's sharing? Okay. So here you vote. We have templates. If you click into this, it will bring you to a Google folder where there are 4 different templates. So depending on your technical abilities and we also have a few different options for the non-technical folks, depending on how snazzy you want to get. We're always trying to make it as easy as possible. John, I don't know what you guys do here, but I feel like you guys even put like the pill bubbles for them as individual. You guys go all out with that stuff. Kudos to you guys for that.
Thank you.
But again, we're trying to make it easy. We have the link to the dashboard right here. So the analytics is right there. And then all of our FAQ and rules, right? What is the last figure standing? The rules that Chris just went over that also link to some other things there. And then our calendar of events, going to last.figure.standing on Instagram. You can click on our links there and access all of these links as well. So that's that. I will stop sharing.
One of the reasons for that, Ryan, is Black Series collectors don't have to. They just get what they want. So
show the top 12 from last year. Let's see which one. There's I think one that's not a Black Series.
I was just saying, Tim, that not only do they get what they want, they get what they don't even ask for. They don't have to ask for Darth Maul. Here, have a new Darth Maul. Thank you.
Right, let's have a quick look at last year then. So this is the last year's top 12. And the ticks are the ones that have been made since, right?
Yeah, we did get right the Darth, I think Darth Vader, right? But we're kind of counting, we're omitting him this year, right? Because that tooling's been made. Yes.
Yeah, it's the point that Johnny Mustache made earlier. It's the same sculpt, so that one's crossed off.
Yeah. And we have the Snow Trooper, we've got Crosshair, which is great, and we have Ventress as well.
Yeah. And if you remember last year, the Snow Trooper got eliminated right before it was announced when we went to the elimination rounds. Oh, that was
Yeah,
something
that's
we were
right.
forgot to
And
talk
that-
about.
That was a question at 5:30.
Yeah.
What happens? I'm sorry. I don't know if I missed us talking about that while bringing up the dashboard, but that's what happens, right? We will, remove them from the voting if
Just bump everybody else up, probably, right?
Yeah, if something gets actually, I think are we going to be? We have to look at the calendar. I think we might be done cleaning before NYCC. I can't remember if we.
Your tallying is the 4th through the 17th of October, and NYCC is the 9th and 10th, I believe. I think the panel's one of the... So it's right in the middle. People always ask us the same thing when it's like, what happens if they announce something we ask for? It's like, well, that's the goal. That's the dream. We want them to make the stuff we're asking for. So it's not a problem. That's like the goal. So then we can ask for the next thing, and it's perfect.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Any more comments on the rules or the dashboard or the 12 from last year before we move on to taking a look at our picks for this year?
There was just one. Somebody said, "I'm sorry, I apologize." You asked me about the Lutrillians said that the Lutrillians going to be lumped into the same. Do the same thing where I'm assuming they're talking about the Cantina Lutrillians because there's also Treva Home. I can't remember what it is from Empire Strikes Back, but I'm assuming for the two Cantina Lutrillians, Athelo and Onelko, I don't know how they're pronounced, and no, not going to combine those into one right now simply because it's not as drastic of an impact that Kira or the other ones are. You can pull it up on John Miko's dashboard and see that. I'm voting for. I don't spoiler for my top 10. I'm voting for Athelo on mine just because he got more votes last year. So again, I want to go to where the people are, where it's going to have the impact. I'd probably prefer the other one a little bit more, but. And the only difference I believe between the two is an ascot on the two Lutrillians.
Yeah.
But no. So that one again, it's a case by case basis that we're making these decisions. Just when it seems when the splitting seems so detrimental to the character that we're doing it.
For last year, I see he was like I call him Othello. I think it's a Shakespeare reference.
Oh, probably.
But he was 92 for Last Figure Standing, and he was 87 for March Madness. So he's not getting anywhere in the top 12. God bless him.
No.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll note here too, right? Luthen is the last character from our first year of Last Figure Standing that has yet to have a figure in TVC.
Wow.
Dang.
Because Anakin and Asajj got figures, and they were the last. They were the last three.
Nice.
Cool. All right, John, our esteemed guest.
Yes.
Do you want to go through what your choices? If I bring up the graphic.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I think this is going to work.
There you go. There, my boy, right in the top center. Sweet Simalu. I gotta have him every year. So he gets made.
Simalu.
So mine is the overall community list has been making great headway. Mine has not. So this is very similar to what it was last year. I did remove Arlyle Shoes off my list, and then let me bring up my last one to see if anybody else was made.
What about your other?
Lumpy was on the first year. I replaced him with Arlyle Shoes. And then, so there, he's hovering at 11 or 12. But yeah, there's always more that I want. But yeah, the Stranger and Jackie up top. I know the Stranger did really well last year. He made it to the finals against Arlyle. But
yeah, very close.
Still not. He made it to the finals, but he still hasn't made it to my shelf. So I'm putting him back on again. I think he and Jackie would be a nice little capper to the Acolyte. I want everybody from everything, but we got to pick and choose here, unfortunately. In this day and age of TVC. But And then I want more from the Bad Batch still. It's great to see Crosshair, but I still want Wrecker and Tech. I know they were in the top 12 last year, right? And then Luthen again. So, yeah, Pong Krell, he won March Madness a couple years ago. He's been on near my wish list for the last 10, 12 years, whenever he premiered on Clone Wars. A lot of those late season Clone Wars characters that didn't get made back in the day in the animated line. Some of them have been slowly coming to live action, like Bo-Katan and Hu Yang, and getting figures, but Pong Krell still has not had that distinction yet. And then I got to go Pelimato. I was like, do I use the Mando movie as an opportunity to ask for all these Mando season 1 and 2 characters that we still need to go with our Razor Crests all these years later? We need the Client. We need Grief Karga. We need Frog Lady, of course, but Pelimato, she's been with it the whole time, repairing his ships, and she's a great character, great actress. I still want her in the line. And then in Arlyle's place, because I think I saw his shadow in that Cantina 4-pack. A lot of people think they see a shadow and they don't, but they can't decide on which one it is. But, so we'll see what happens. But I'm doing the same. I want Sacy and Aegon. It's time for Tinica, and I'm aching for Aegon because when they show me a figure, I want it, even if the HasLab couldn't quite get there to unlock them. So that's why they're there.
And John, I know you're a new before redo person.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for putting those two on there, because
those are
their previous figures are terrible.
Yes. Oh, thanks for pointing that out. I might take them off now because they are redo. Just kidding. But yeah, to see them, in terms of new before redo, I generally want new stuff, but when I see what they're doing now with the sculpting and everything of these figures, it's just amazing. So, as with Arlyle, when they dangle the carrot in front of us, I want to take a bite, But I think we're gonna have to push for those guys a little bit more. I'm glad we don't have to push for Coleman, because I was worried about him.
Yeah, that's the one I was worried about, because obviously the other two, Coleman dies.
Yeah.
So those two are in Revenge of the Sith, right? So, so there's potentially other opportunities, but I was very happy that
that we're now getting our third Coleman figure.
Yeah.
Third, think of the ones figures we've never gotten from the first 6 movies, and we're now getting our third Coleman figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked good though, didn't he? Good figure.
Yeah, looks awesome. And even the legacy Aegon, Chris Rife said Aegon, so I'll go with Aegon now. Yeah. But like the 2005 one had the long skirt, but the 2000, like he has in the movies, and the legacy one was better, but they both didn't quite hit the mark. The
legacy one, we can play about range of motion now. Like the range of motion on those ball joints in the legacy one's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good list, John.
I don't know. Thank you. A little bit of everything. So
great list, John. And isn't Sacy 10 the picture close up of the figure Tuna being used in the Bantha Skull comments by some folks to put not a pouty face. What is it like
an indignant face, like an indignant.
Yeah.
So, John, how many? Sorry, I might have missed you saying the number, but how many of those were on your last year's list?
I think. Let me double check. 2024. I took off Crosshair and Arlyle, and then because Crosshair was made in Arlyle, I feel like the message has at least been sent for the most part. And if I'll put them on next year if I need to, and then so 8 of them were on last year's list.
Oh, at least you're consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think without spoiling mine, I think I've had to carry across 6. I think it was maybe. I don't know.
And I want, in general, I want to finish the Acolyte. I want to finish the Bad Batch. I want to finish, the Clone Wars stuff that never got made. I want to finish the 96 up there with Sweet Sweet Sim. A lot of these, crews that have been started need to be finished.
They do. Absolutely. Cool, man. Any other further comments before we move on to we're gonna look at Chris's next.
I'll say I wanted to respond to something Chris said about the dashboard a minute ago. Of if you want like the glup Am I allowed to say their last names? The Glup S words. It's a family show, but yeah, that goes for any subsection, because I see like people always vote for, they want Legends characters, but they don't know who to vote for, and they pick the most obscure things from one page of Star Wars Insider 25 years ago, and it's like, well, I don't know, that'd be cool, but so yeah, it's nice to be able to go through and say, okay, maybe Dash Rendar, Mara Jade, things like that. I can't believe I just promoted people asked for Dash Rendar, but you know, it's nice to see where to use your points the most effectively if that's how you choose to do it. So it's nice to have the dashboard to show you how to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point, John. People can go to the source group and they can select publishing or broadcast television or any of those to really get some deep cuts too.
At least because with the Cantina it'll split the votes, but like Arlisle seems to obviously is the one that people are going to funnel towards. And then now with prequel Jedi, if people want more for Geonosis, you can do 100 different characters, but Saesee and Agen seem to be, I'm interested to see how they do this year. So yeah.
We saw some a new trailer for the Mandalorian Grogu movie too, right? And there was some and I think some people talking about him on and
there's a Saesee Tin is an Iktachi something, but there's an Iktachi bartender in the trailer as well. So
yes,
yeah, there's a little bit for everybody.
Yeah, in the background.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there you go.
Yeah. The trailer was interesting, wasn't it? Some fan service stuff in there, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
So we're going to be moving on to Chris now. Evan to thank for that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Cheers, Evan.
Yes.
Cheers, man.
Thank you for doing that. Nice work.
That's like the Batman thing. Yeah. Right. So let's see if I can find Chris's. Instead of like sharing screen, this is much better where you can like present a image. I don't know whether you could always do it like that, but this is good.
Yeah,
let's have a look. Tuners. Here we go.
Big tuna.
So
there we go.
Nice.
My list, I've only brought forward 4 from my list. Last year, I dropped a lot off my list. I say this every year. There's a scene in the movie Something About Mary where Ben Stiller's walking down the street with Warren, and they're walking past a costume shop, and Warren sees a costume, and he's like, "Oh, I want that one. I want that." So they go in the costume shop, and he comes out with the costume. Then they leave, and they're walking past the other half of the costume shop, and he sees a different costume. And he's, I want that one, so I have to go in and get the other. That's me. That is just how I am. Like whatever, recency bias up the wazoo of like, not for media so much for myself, but for what things are we getting. So my first 2 are just mains. Well, 2 of the 3 of the first 4 are just mains that are overdue. That's why they're there. When certain updates are overdue, I think I sense in the community like it goes beyond like I want this to frustration that it hasn't been done yet, and I feel with particularly with Luke Bespin, that frustration might be growing just because the one we got with 2010 was never good. That was never a very good figure, and it's a wildly popular Luke costume, and what they could do with that today, and especially to pair up with the Death Star 2 Vader, which can also serve as an Episode 5 Vader. They're wildly out of sync. You have this really posable Darth Vader and just this Luke that's kind of a silly figure by today's standards. So that's really why, again, because I sense frustration growing in the community with that, as I'm having them prominently on my list. I've been an EV99 guy since 1983, and I'm frustrated that we haven't, only have the Power of the Force one, and she's now appeared in The Mandalorian. So it's an 096er. It's got so much, going for that.
She's the bartender of the cantina,
right?
Isn't it?
So there's a lot of intersect of this, and I would make another joke, but again, if Johnny Mustache can't say the second half of Glop, I'm not going to make that other joke of what a female torture droid would, project to in the real world. I won't. Her name would be Mistress something probably. That's as far as I'll go. Obviously, 3PO, long overdue. It's funny. 3PO is a figure that for me, whenever he would get put in the line, I'd be like, ugh, 3PO, boring. To me, even as a kid, it was like the figure you had to have, but you didn't necessarily need. He was the socks. The socks that you get for Christmas. You need them, but you don't want them. That for me was like 3PO. You need them, but don't want them. But when he was announced in the launch wave of TVC, I think a lot of fans felt another 3PO. Now I'm dying for a 3PO. They finally starved the market of this character for so long that I'm dying for a 3PO. And Tim, I know you and I have discussed. I bought a lot of Lukes. I bought a lot of Bens. I buy even more 3POs just because he goes in so many of the scenes I have set up around me. I'd be pushing into John Miko territory with purchasing of a new 3PO, and then it just goes beyond that with all, because the C series C1 series protocol droid doesn't change. All the repaints that can go into it. Kiadi I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just about to say, with C3PO, I've got quite a few of them because it got reissued, so it's very easy to get that ESB carded version one. So I did buy a few of those, but then I sort of kicked myself and said, why did I do that? It's actually a terrible figure. And so I've got them carded, but I don't want to open them to fill out these things. I'd rather wait for them to give us the proper one. And when I was at MCM in London, Chris even said, we know we've got an undersized C3PO in the line. So they know, that it's not good enough. Sorry, you carry on.
They still put them on all the packages for the new stuff, though. So it's
that's the only choice, isn't it? Well, they could go for an older one,
Yeah.
Then it'll probably be a vac metalized one, and they'll be like, right, C3PO has to be vac metalized when he comes out now.
Yeah.
I made the joke that when Matt Cohen's pictures for the cantina, one of the cups was tipped over, and I'm like, yeah, one of us, because I always have like a cup tipped over or something like that. He should do us another solid for one of the packaging. Have 3PO in there, but have the face falling off, or have one of the panels falling off, because that's me. Like whenever I try to set him up, he should do us a solid there. Kiadi Mundi, straightforward, the gunship. I mean, we need.
Yes.
You get a gunship, you need a Kiadi Mundi, one that doesn't have swivel elbows. I've wanted Chancellor Palpatine from the Jedi Rest for a while. He's never been in my top 10. I think I've had him in my top 25 for March Madness, but I can't recall. But I just pre-ordered. Last year I pre-ordered the Hot Toys one, and I'm like, if I'm willing to pay $300 for this figure, clearly he should be in my top 10. So definitely want the Jedi Arrest Palpatine. Yeah.
I need him.
What do you think of the Black Series one that's coming up? Because they did like all soft goods for that. Is that how?
To be honest, I don't pay too much attention. Other than jealousy, I don't pay too much attention to the Black Series. But I do remember thinking it looked good.
Okay.
When I saw it, I try not to dwell on it because again, the stuff they get that they don't even have to ask for.
It's like it's a Book of Boba Fett Luke body under there, just cast in red, and then it's entirely soft goods, even the sleeves, which I don't think that works, but I don't know how else you would really do it to accommodate the articulation.
Right.
I think when they do it, they need more of the like printing, because he has like designs on it, or at least like pleated lines on his robes, which he does not have in the Black Series version. It just looks really plain. But so we need him, but I think they could do a little bit better job in TVC.
Yeah, they had the alternate head sculpt.
Yeah, which is cool.
Once he gets fried.
Of course they did. Of course.
I'm sick of the gigantic Power of the Force 2 Princess Leia, Ewok Leia, that's taller than Darth Vader. So we just need one that's properly scaled. And with respect to the Black Series one, please, without the angry, mean mugging head that they gave the Black Series one, just a normal, neutral portrait for Ewok Leia. This is the one Tim made fun of me for, Akmina. I'm sorry. I want Akmina. We've got the Cantina. I know some people say it's not the same Cantina, and that's only because Bruce Valanche couldn't come up with the money to reconstruct the Cantina in Elstree. It's supposed to be Chalmun's Cantina at night. So maybe it's the upper bar, those bars that they close the main bar, but the drunks are still up at the upper bar. But it's supposed to be Chalmun's Cantina. So I want that. And before the stream, I was bringing out my Starlog episode with Akmina right on there. So I want to make this one become true. Plus, it's again, it's Maud and it's a Golden Girl. So Tim, it's not your cleaning lady, despite what you say. This is a very accomplished actress who is in Star Wars with B. Arthur.
Chris, sorry. Tanith had a nice comment there at 5:57, and maybe 10:57 your time. Yeah, 2 alternate bartenders there with EV99. Yeah,
Chris is trying to tell us
awesome.
something.
Yeah, is there something about me that is there something subconscious about me?
Yeah, maybe they make a nice gin and tonic that you're not telling us about there.
Gin and tonics are my enemy. You know that.
If you don't need a drink now, just think about all the list cleansing you're going to have to do, and then you're going to need 2 bartenders. Akamina's a great shout, though. I'm thinking, I should put her on my list. I should give her a shout at some point. But
yeah, you can edit that list.
That's true. That's
all
true.
Week.
And that's one, obviously, for me. They don't have to do all new. They could use something with. This is a case where they could do a soft goods lower body, put even use the Saz Ventress, the Morgan Elsbeth lower body. I don't care, despite how much I hate those ankles. I don't need Akmina to be climbing walls, so I just need her to pour a drink in Krellman's head. So. Do you want to do it, John? Do you want to do any of your Krellman's head hole jokes yet?
No, I'm good. Yeah, that's for the behind the scenes only.
So obviously these last 3 again just show my recency bias for the Cantina. I want to put more stuff in it, and the reason I went with Cantina Dude is just because of that's one figure that has unlocks / could go the other way. It's Bosk's flight suit that he was wearing, so you do get either if they do a Bosk first, then they can come backwards to Cantina Dude, or do Cantina Dude as sort of a pre-pack eventually for a Bosk. That's why he's on there, and I believe it also gets you to a Boshek, but I don't know. It does it, John?
As far as I know, there might be some small differences, but
close enough. Close enough.
Yeah.
In fact, for everybody that customizes a Cantina Dude like I did, and then broke it taking pictures of the Cantina, so I'm a little upset about that right now. You just take Boshek's helmet and put it on, a figure on Bosk's body, and take off the alien feet and put on regular boots and things like that, and regular gloves. And then Othello. Did I say it right, John? Othello?
That's how I say it, but I've been wrong before, so I don't know.
No, that sounds right. I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Othello, again, the Lutrillian species, I believe, is the only recurring alien species in the OT that has never had a figure. So I just want one. There's 3 Lutrillians between 2 in the Cantina and then 1 on Cloud City. There may be more, but there's 3 that I know of. So I think it's the only repeated alien species. I went with Othello because again he's was more requested last year. From the Cantina perspective, he's over by Lee Sub Serlin and the Spacers over to the left. I believe that's him. And Onelko is seated up front with the Jawas like right in front of where Danik, where Danik Jericho is. He's kind of up here from him. So he's a little more little more visible, and he has the ascot. But essentially, otherwise, they're essentially the same sculpt. But one other reason why I did decide to go with Othello is because he's standing, and Onelko is seated, and these guys have their anatomy's kind of crazy. They're kind of like Tweedledum from Alice in Wonderland with that pear shape. I don't know how they would get good seating articulation out of that sculpt. So the one that's standing does kind of make more sense. So that's why those are the reasons I went with Othello over the other one.
And
that's my list.
If I can share one more Lutrillian fact, I think Onelko is a rearrangement of Colonel, because they were called the Colonel back in the day.
He was called the Colonel. Yeah, he was called the Colonel.
So I think Onelko is like a joke on how you spell Colonel.
Yeah, because of the ascot. That's why they were calling him. He's very formal.
Solomon Hall was the one in the holiday special, I believe.
Right, so if we throw that in, it's 4 times. And then I won't get the name in time. Trevor something from Bespin.
Yeah, it's Horm or Home or Horn or something. But speaking of Bespin, as you said earlier, Horm with an M or an N?
Horme.
Okay.
We're just reenacting the Pan scene from Step Brothers.
When you mentioned Bespin Luke, I thought it was funny in the Blue Milk book how they talked about how at the time, like, they knew the 2007 one on the vintage card was not that good. And like, we needed an apology. We needed to do it right. And then they did the 2010 one, which really wasn't a whole lot better.
Oh.
But
good list.
Thank you. Even though you were threatening to kick me off your channel permanently.
Only because you've got a holiday special, like it's universally accepted as the worst thing ever, and you want to figure from it.
Like, I supported Tim.
Yes,
I will watch the holiday special unironically, not watching it for how bad it is. I watch it for a time capsule. It's again, if you watch A Disturbance in the Force, it's not terribly far off from variety shows in America at the time. They were all terrible. So I watch it more for a time capsule, just knowing there's a lot of pharmaceuticals involved probably in the production.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It really places Star Wars in the context of the late 70s, which is fun. It's just fun to see.
Yeah. Same people who filmed Edgware Arsenal, if you've ever watched that.
No.
You might not have done. Look up Edgware Arsenal after this, guys. You'll start to understand what I mean.
Solid list, Tuna.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good list. Good list. Let's remove that quick, and we're going to be moving on to...
Can I say one more thing?
Yep.
I just want to say I am always the last good enough guy, but I do think the Coleman we have for a guy that's just going to fall down and die, I do think that one was good enough. So I would have liked one of the other 2 Jedi to have been the first tier unlock in my case.
Who instead of Coleman would you have wanted?
Tin, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the first name because I never pronounce it right. I would have wanted him first because he's swivel elbows. I just would have rearranged the order of the tiers. I like the tiers. Would have rearranged them. I mean, we do have an all ball jointed everything Coleman. We do have one. We don't for Tin.
Tough to get figure though. That is now for people that didn't get him back then, wasn't it? Part of a 2-pack, was it?
What is he, like $70 or something?
Chris, like, whatever.
I really care about
losers.
He was missing some of the soft goods or something he was supposed to have, but yeah.
You could borrow that from another figure. Just customize $300 worth of figures. And
why not? I did see a comment. Somebody or a couple people. Somebody's asking twice. No Skeleton Crew love. I thought Skeleton Crew was great. I want more figures from it, but that's like, where do you even start? Because we only have Jod. I think Neil was on my list for top 25, but like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know.
And we're talking about picking your top 10 out of thousands of characters across the Star
Yep.
Wars universe. Like, I thought Skeleton Crew was all right. I wouldn't pick a figure to be on my top 10, maybe my top 100, but not my top 10. There's, it's a fine list, isn't it, to get down to just 10.
Yep.
So, so here we go. Seamless. And then Chris was like, he got me worried that I did something to his camera, but he's probably gone to the toilet or something. Okay, let's do Mr. Miko's list. Let's do it.
All right. Well, it's fitting.
Except you'll get more water, Tim. That's all. You're going to get more water.
Okay.
Well, don't leave me, Tuna. Why are you leaving me? Well, I'll say this, right? That silhouette up there is Luke. Luke is my everything. Sorry, Howl Runner, another Luke. Boo. So we got VC 280, right? And
John, are you not picking characters that everybody else wants? Or are you picking your characters?
Right. That's right. These are my characters. So yeah, Luke is everything to me. I would love a Death Star 2 version of him with the flap. I know that John, maybe you know more about this. I think the Black Series got one was it swappable? I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
That's what I thought. But I would love something like that.
Of course they did.
Of course. Yeah, and I would love
Legacy had a swappable one, but that guy was barrel chested, and it was
right.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. Yeah, so I would love a definitive version of that one, please. And again, that goes with something some figures we recently got in the line this is 2023 now. Maybe that was the end of 2023. Could be mistaken. So yeah, I would love to see an updated version of Death Star 2 Luke. Anything to add to that, Tuna? I know we were talking about the flap down. I think you made a custom one.
Yes, the one that John was talking about. I just took an X-Acto knife and sliced the flap off the Legacy Collection one, and glued it onto the Endor capture one.
And we got parts now, right? We got a lot of good parts, I think, to make a definitive Luke from all the versions we've received recently. I think the Imperial
Light Cruiser.
Oh, the Light Cruiser, and then I think that one, maybe the whatever the Jedi training one with Grogu could be.
Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett one, I think, maps over better to a Death Star 2 Luke.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it has better hip articulation also, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yep. So I'll just say, right, the top row for me is like definitive updates I want of things that are out there, and the bottom row is all new, character debut or never before done characters in super articulation. So Obi-Wan Kenobi, we got this amazing Anakin again. We get these amazing figures, and then I want Obi-Wan to go along with him, please. Black Series got the most amazing exclusive ever at San Diego Comic-Con. I would love to see that in TBC someday, with the panning droids and the base and all that stuff. I know we've gotten it before, but not exactly the correct things. John, you can probably confirm.
Yeah, I thought the old ones were fine, but I was yelled at a few times, so I will say they're awful.
Well, yeah, the one
I think maybe it's a little undersized. There was the platform and the panning droid, but yeah.
Yeah, and the platform, I don't think it ever had
size. It's
platform was a little small, but
yeah, it's huge, and it also has the controls. I don't think it ever
Control.
had the controls,
right, yeah,
all that stuff. Anyway, enough being too exact here. I'll just echo what Chris was saying with Supreme Chancellor here. Would love this version. Good question, John. I don't know how much soft goods versus plastic. We just hope, right? Whatever it is, he has the articulation to do all sorts of crazy crazy moves that he does to slash down. What is it? 5 Jedi Masters in the blink of a second? 4, 3,
4, but yeah,
4. Yeah, in the book, if you ever read
Including
Matthew
his,
Stover's book, that part is executed a little better maybe than the movie.
Kid Fisto's head grinning, when it's separated from his body and stuff like that. That's brutal.
Yes. Yeah. So great book. Check it out. 3PO. I don't know. I think 3PO is going to take it this year, guys. I don't know.
He could.
Well, he'll make it far.
He won't. He won't. He'll make it in the top 12, but he'll get bumped out pretty quickly.
Guys, I think he was number 8 overall last year, right? Let's see here.
It's appropriate that we're calculating C-3PO's odds, which is a nice role reversal for once.
That's right.
John, how did he do in March Madness?
He was ranked. He was in the top 10 this year, but he lost to Grievous in the first round.
Ooh. See, that's the thing. You see, people want him, but then when he comes up against another character like that, then sometimes you gravitate to maybe the cooler character or whatever, rather than starting to think about what you actually need for your collection.
Yep.
And I'm on board with the Big Tuna. I think this is the best figure in TVC. Just from the articulation to the deco, it's almost perfect. I know the antenna doesn't, the rangefinder doesn't move, and he doesn't have barbell hips, but I don't think he needs them. Shame on me.
I would say if they do go to episode 5, they would need to go to barbell hips. Otherwise, people will riot.
They would. They will. They should. But I won't get into the gap issues that I have with barbell. I'll shut up. So let's see that. Tuna, I know you got a bunch of great ideas for, how they can roll out a couple more Boba Fett's. Still waiting for that article on Bantha Skull. Make it happen.
I've told you I've already written it twice.
Oh, that's right.
That's more drafts than they had for the Book of Boba Fett. So.
These are drafts. I've actually published the same. I've done two takes of the same exact article about the pre-pro Fett that was on the 21 back card, that they need to make a figure of that Fett.
The Kinner Colors one doesn't quite count. Make it realistic.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, moving on to my character debuts. So I've had Breath Up. I can never say it's right. On my list for a couple years, my top 25. I love me some Murder Bears. Return of the Jedi was my movie growing up. I was at that, I think, the prime little kid age for Return of the Jedi. So I'd love to see him. I know at one point, and I wrote a guest article for Bantha Skull where we spoke to this, right? That one point there was a prototype. They were going to come out with him, and they decided not to.
It looked awesome, and I'd never knew that existed. And I love the fact that you have Breath Up on your list every time. It's a good pick, man.
Yep, he was supposed to be in the Catapult set, I believe, and he's replaced by one of the others.
Yeah, was it 2014 or something? I'm trying to remember.
A couple of years earlier, around there though.
Maybe earlier.
It was TVC 1.0, yeah.
Remember my article. But yeah, we haven't seen a character debut Ewok in a very long time, so just needs a new head sculpt. Please stop giving us the puckered lip. Which one was it? Was it
Paplu?
It was Lumat originally. But they repainted him as Paplu, even though the faces are different.
Yeah, and then I got my boy Baze Malbus here as one of our infamous submissions, Blaze Malbus. Yeah,
blaze it, dude.
Man, I want to put so many more Rogue One and Andor characters on here. So I'll be excited for when Tim shows his list, because I know he's got a couple more. But I was just trying to, again, it's tough to pick your 10. There's so many more I'd love to see, but we definitely need him next, please, and then Bodhi, or both together. Then I have my my glups from Jabba's palace, my favorite glups, and you know, Shasa Teal came very close to beating Jedi Arrest or Chancellor Palpatine on March Madness, right? In the first round. I think she lost by like, I don't know, 8 or 9 votes, John.
Yeah, it was very close.
I'm pretty sure I heard somebody saying they got their grandmother and their uncle and aunt and cousins to vote for Palpatine. I'm pretty sure Shasa would have won if you weren't sharing numbers, but hey, it's fine. It's all good. I'm not bitter. So yeah, I have my custom here. Quite amazing. And we got the sorry if I'm taking too long here, but we got the Snow Commander, which I had here somewhere. And
oh yes,
I know
yes.
somebody in the Bantha Skull comments, and I always forget who, Chris, had mentioned that the boots, right, are very similar. Right, so I feel like these lower legs could become Shasa Teal.
We have 2 people in the comments that both have their names start with binary. I believe it's Binary Sun. Is the one, the Shasa Teal, and then we have Binary Sunset. So not only they have start with binary, they have the same first syllable of the second name, but Binary Sunset, I believe, is the one that made the Ben's Huts.
Oh, cool. Yep, David. So yeah, you know, we've seen Ishi Tibbs all over the place in Disney Plus too. So it'd be great to see some love for the species. Then I got Yachts Aren. John has made a really beautiful card for Yachts. I made one too. Really fun coloring up Yachts. But man, like, we need some more character debuts for the other skiff, right? We need to start ticking off.
We finished the first skiff and just forgot all about it, apparently.
Yeah. And then we got to get Fozek in the line. Here's my custom Fozek. Awesome outfit. Nice. Awesome. Shout out to Evergrey. But Chad Peak Obi-Wan too. He did some of the parts for that. Amazing work. So as I know Brett and Chris and many others have said, right, he's one of the most prevalent, right, Jabba's goons in, you know, on screen, carting around our heroes as prisoners, etc.
And Tanith,
I always go to me. I always go to the ones that I recognize as a kid, because back then you weren't like, it wasn't like you have all the movies in high HD. Right. You could pause and look at the background. So the ones when you're a kid are just the ones that you organically see going by on the screen. And I wanted a Fozek figures even as a kid.
Yeah. And Tanith pointed out, I believe you guys have discussed it before, but Joris's legs, sadly, not 100% accurate to Fozek. Because I believe for the Black Series version, they just took Skiffguard Lando's legs, put them under Joris's skirt, and said, all right, whatever, good enough, because they kind of looked like they could lead to his sandals. And then in TVC, they sculpted new versions of them. So they're based on Lando's design, which is close to Fozek. And would you be okay if they reused those legs for Fozek? If it meant getting a Fozek in the line, even though he has a knee armor that's different?
I'd cry a little bit, then I'd build a bridge, get over it, and then be happy. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's the right vibe anyway. It's a different outfit for him. Yep. It's his party sandals.
Good list. Again, 3 good lists. 3 different lists, which is always good.
Nice. Yeah, and I'll say, while you're getting yours up, Tim, I carried 6 forward. So.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. Yeah, 6 forward from last year. Yeah, I think that's what I did as well. All right. So let's remove that.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Cheers, Evan. Right. So John's gone because he doesn't want to see my list. Cheers, John. I'm just kidding. Right. Let me see if I can find mine now. Yep, that's my list. All right, I'll quickly go through my choices. I don't have any order to this, John, like you did with your never before maids underneath, mains, or whatever it was on the top. I think mine's just pretty random. And they're not in any order of how much I want them. Possibly C3PO is just the first one that came to my mind. I think on my previous list, I had C3PO, Baze, Saw Gerrera, Two Tubes, Luthen. Maybe it was only 5 that I brought through. I can't remember.
I can check.
Maybe EV99 was on there. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these speak for themselves, really. So C3PO, obviously, we've already discussed him at length. As you mentioned, Chris, our displays tend to always need a C3PO, depending, most scenes have a C3PO, and for me, we just don't have a decent C3PO, so we need one really badly. Where's Garandan? Garandan has been taken off, yeah. So I don't know. I think I've just kind of accepted that maybe the one that we've got is the one that we're going to have to sort of have. Yeah, I've kind of accepted that, really. But I still want Garandan. He'd probably get into my top 25, but not my top 10 anymore. There's just more pressing things for me now.
Didn't Sideshow do a Garandan?
They did, yeah. I've got it coming, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That'll be my first ever one as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as they release that, I was like, I have to have that. And if they ever do a new boss, that'll be the other one I get. But that'll be it for me, really. So Baze Malbus, obviously, I talk about completing crews and things like that. Baze Malbus, he is. You're right, John. For me, he is the next one that we need for Rogue One. And then, of course, Saw Gerrera and Two Tubes have crossover from Rogue One into Andor, and Andor, if anyone didn't already know, is my favorite thing that's come out of Disney by far. Well, along with Rogue One. Luthen.
Oh, hold on, Tim. I'm sorry. Can you highlight the comment that just came through from Mr. Middle-aged Kiwi Man?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Exactly. What's up,
Jason?
Yeah,
and I don't usually display 5POA in if I can help it, but I do have Saw Gerrera and Two Tubes. I don't have Baze because it's really awful, but I have the other two, Saw Gerrera and Two Tubes, standing there in my little Rogue One thing, and they desperately need an update. Two Tubes maybe more so, I feel. Luthen, possibly one of the best Star Wars characters since the original trilogy. Shoot me, but I think he is. We need a figure of him. And then this is the one. I can see Chris smiling.
I'm not going to say anything.
So Clea, I think, like Andor season 2, she was just amazing in that, and I think it's right that she gets some backing. So she's definitely on my list. And
you're slipping.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like sort of Padme and Kira. There's a lot of different outfits, right? So Chris said, "Which outfit do you want?" And I said, "Oh, just the standard shop outfit will do to start with." And then we were joking before the stream came on about having her in the in her scrubs and things like that. But no, this is the one. This is the classic look for me of Clea. So I've gone with that.
They need a Lonnie to go with her, right? Also, or Lonnie.
Yeah,
and some people were saying in the comments when you were showing yours, John, saying no ISB, and the ISB Trooper was so close to getting on my list.
Yeah,
me too.
Chris, I know you were saying at one point.
Yeah, that big brick hit house there guy.
Yeah.
Tim, I know you know the actor.
Yeah,
That one. He was perfect.
Yeah, he's great in a show, a Ricky Gervais show on Netflix.
Gotta watch that.
He's brilliant. There's this scene in a pub. If you haven't seen it, well, it's you need to see the outtakes of it as well. But yeah, moving on. Yeah, so yeah, I mean,
wait. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm sorry. Can you highlight Jason's next comment as well? Because he's onto something.
That could be Lonnie. Talk to Lonnie. I'll take it. Some great stash work in that series.
Yeah, it's true. No, we do need him as well, but he'll be an easier one to accomplish. So I would hope that they would try and get to those sorts of characters and.
Kind of got him already with the Cal Kestis ISB figure.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretend Lonnie.
Kiadi Mundi. So, I'll just go back to the ISB. Yeah, so the ISB Troopers were super cool. Great episode in Andor season 2, and it would be awesome to have some figures from that. But yeah, they don't quite make my list, but they'll certainly be on it for my top 25 next January, or is that when we submit? January. Yeah. So moving on, Kiadi Mundi. I think Chris, you had him on your list, didn't you? Absolutely, yes. 100% agree with you. If we've got the gunship, then he is the first Jedi on my list that we need, really. John will be able to tell me, how close is his outfit to the one that he wears in Revenge of the Sith. You're going to tell me it's completely different now.
No, in the prequels, it's all the same. And then I know you're so excited for his Acolyte version as well. But that's his Acolyte look is a totally different cut. But his prequel look should be all the same as far as I know. Yeah,
because I've also had like Galactic Marines on my lists and stuff like that before. So that would two purposes with one figure there. 21B. This is a new one on my list, but it was quite high up on my March Madness. And I've gone for this one because there's some crossover there as well. So he or a droid of that type is in Ahsoka. So ticks off an original 96. Yeah, that's why he's on there. Same reason for EV9D9. I totally agree with Chris on this one as well. Great to have him for the original 96, or her, sorry. And yeah, bar person of the Cantina in The Mandalorian. And this spot, the last spot for me, was a tough one. But I've gone with Bosk, not just because of what my channel's called or whatever, and he's my favorite bounty hunter, but I do feel it. I have refrained from voting for him in previous years. I think he made my top 25 for the first time last year, I think, if I'm right in saying.
So. Yeah.
But I just feel it might be time. And it also, the crossover there with what Chris was saying, then it could get you a Boshek and it could get you the Space Dude for the Cantina. So it's time for Bosk to be on my list. So I'm going to be backing him this time. And that concludes my top 10. I think I've got a bit of everything in there. New media, OT, PT. It's nice.
Well done.
Another great list. Can you believe Rogue One's going to be 10 years old next year?
I know.
That's wild,
nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we definitely don't have enough figures from it.
Yeah.
If you can hear the barking dog upstairs, I don't know if you can hear it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's my dog, Wrecker. He's protesting that he wasn't on anybody's list.
Wrecker, he was on my list.
Yeah.
He was. Oh, sorry.
So down boy. It's all right.
It's okay.
Let's remove that. There we go. So there you go then, guys. That's all of our lists. I've been enjoying looking at social media when I've had time today at other people's lists in various Facebook groups, Instagram, and things like that. Make sure you if you can, use the templates and, share what you're picking. I'm right in saying that the cutoff date, they are able to go into their list and change it if they want, if they've got any inspiration from other people's lists. If you're still happy with your list, keep your list, but they can change, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you'll when you submit your list, you can edit it right there and then, or you can go to your email and you will get an email of your list that you submitted your list and that you could edit it. I'm not sure. You might be able to just like go to the form and it might say you had already submitted, and you can, I think, edit it there as well.
Right.
Don't quote me, but yeah. And the cutoff is what, this Friday around midnight of Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah. So the hope is that we get more submissions than we did the previous year. We hope that we can reach more people, and everyone submits a list, and then obviously the fun begins with the voting of whittling it down to the last figure. Be interesting to see who that is this year. I feel that I don't know. You mentioned the Jedis are on your list, John, and I can understand why you put those on. But I feel like, especially last year, the fact that Shush didn't get, we didn't hit that goal, that tier. And then I think it was the Stranger as well. The Acolyte was airing at the same time. We don't really have anything happening at the time. I know the Gunship's just,
right.
but we don't really have like a series happening or anything right now, do we, at the time, and things like that, to sort of like push like a brand new character on us or whatever, and they sort of dominate everything,
Yeah, and Andor, because Andor was the most recent thing, but that's another one. Like, we're missing so much. I think Luthen is the most obvious, but like, there's so many. Like, where do you even start to ask for stuff from that show? But yeah, we got a while. Mando and Grogu is next May. We got Visions this fall, but I'm not even gonna dream about asking for stuff from that because I know we're not gonna get it.
When's the Darth Maul show?
Next year sometime.
Oh yeah, 26.
Yeah, so 26 has the Maul series, the Ahsoka season 2, and then the Mando and Grogu movie. But it's a little bit quiet until then.
Yeah, so it would be interesting to see, as I said, without that sort of focus on one thing, maybe the lists will be a little bit more, I don't know, spread out, if that makes sense.
Could be, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how much carryover there is from last year. If people still want the Stranger, now that we got him in Black Series, is it like, even more or even less? Because it's a year ago now, and I don't know.
Yeah, see, I'm just looking at last year, right? It was Arleal. The top vote getters in the submission round were Arleal, Anakin, the Stranger, Baze, Luthen. So it'd be interesting to see how Luthen, Baze, the Stranger, and Arleal do this year. I'm wondering if Pong Krell will make the top 12.
Yeah. He was near it, right? The past few times.
Yeah, he was 14. Him and Pelly were the honorable mentions.
And then, Baze and Luthen are some of the only ones from the top 10 of March Madness that have not been made yet. I know they've been recurring on this as well, so we need them. We need them already.
Yeah.
I know Tanith asked a question, and Jim, when your Clea came up, will we combine the Clea votes too, like we're doing the other ones? And to answer that question is, we'll have to see. When we start cleaning up these names, we'll have to see, is Clea, pretty evenly splitting between different outfits? I doubt she will be, but if she is, and just so everybody knows, we don't do any of this unilaterally. We reach out to other people in the community to see what they think. And John Mustache, I might reach out to you. How would you handle this situation? Because we don't want to do anything like in a vacuum. Victoria and Jason from Yak Face have always been, available to give their opinions when we have these decisions to make. So it is a little bit of a consensus when we do these things.
Yeah, because with someone like sorry, John, with someone like Clea, I would imagine it's quite difficult to. There's going to be a lot of, it's quite difficult to describe what that outfit is. Shop. She's probably worn a few different outfits in the shop between season 1 and season 2. One where she's just like walking down the street, meeting up with some people or whatever. There's probably a few different outfits, so it's a case of like how you describe those. But
yeah, and then another one who always splits the votes between her many appearances is Padme. Like the Geonosis one was getting a lot of votes, but she's made, at least one of them is made now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
And that's another one where one of these years I want to do a list, just a guide.
Yeah.
This is Theed Palace. This is Theed Battle.
Yeah.
It's just because it's so hard to standardize those names because just all the different ways people just describe those figures. Can you highlight QE Mans from 1135? This is an absolute outrage that these figures have not yet been made. I'm so sad that the Ash J typos aren't going to be coming up anymore now that she's most likely won't be coming up. Although I keep saying that, so I know somebody's going to put it on purpose. The Ash J, my favorite typo ever.
You mentioned earlier there was a typo. Did we reveal what that was, or are we going to save that for a?
We can reveal it's because it's not the Grace. Box Kayleen instead of Bix. Box Kayleen.
Box Kayleen.
I probably should have said it because the reason why it made me laugh is it's a little dirty.
What? Bex Kayleens box. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a family joke.
Well, I don't know.
I'm going back to my Krellman jokes now. Yeah.
No. When hang on. When she's fixing that ship in the thing, she has that little box thing. So
stop. Clearly, this one didn't cross the pond. Stop it.
Do you say that there, Tim? Is that?
Well, it goes back to when we had Jason on one of the streams, and I think I described something as being gash, and in the military over here, at least, that's what the trash is called, the waste paper bin. You throw it in the gash. Yeah, I can understand why. Yeah. And Jason was like, "Stop saying it."
Yes, I forgot about that.
Should we all discuss our favorite versions of Willows? Just discuss which ones we like the best.
Oh dear. So yeah, that's that. Yeah. Lost in translation.
we look forward to the other ones you find, Chris, and that's always one of my highlights of we do that during the top 12 reveal, right? Do we do
we break it up with some of them.
Yeah. Looking forward to that because we had
Syrup Karn is still my favorite one because it just made me think how much would some guy have to love syrup for that to become his nickname? Like Chris Friends started calling him that.
I know cereal's all about his breakfast food, so it kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
There was another one where, Kiadi Mindig just came in a while ago.
Mindig? How did autocorrect? What is Mindig?
I don't know. But when I first quickly looked at it, that's and probably some,
someone's last name.
Passive dyslexia. I thought it said Mindy Kaling at first. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Little Office fan there.
Yeah, because with the Cyril one, again, that's another lost in translation. I thought the joke was about if he was wearing a wig.
Yeah.
Yeah, because over here we slang for a wig is a syrup. So.
Oh, never heard that one.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. Sorry, Tim. That one makes no sense.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good stuff.
Moving swiftly on. We're pretty much done. I think we've shown our top tens. As I said, we would like for everybody to submit their top tens. The link is there, as you can see it, scrolling along the screen. It's on all of the Last Figure Standing social medias, banthskull.com, Facebook group. I'll make sure it's in description of videos and stuff like that. So yeah, we just want as many submissions as we possibly can, and hopefully it's a lot of fun whittling it down. Anybody else have any other final thoughts before it's coming up 20 to 12? We've almost been going the 2 hours. Is any other final thoughts you guys want to go through before we log off?
I'm just rethinking my list over and over again because I'm glad there's a cutoff, because otherwise I'd just be. I usually wait till the very end to submit these things, but I'm like, you know what? I wanted these figures last year. I'll just mix it up a little bit. I'm not going to overthink it, and then I overthink it. But it's part of the fun.
Yeah,
John, who on your list are you double thinking for?
Well, now like Akmina would be great now that the Cantina. Like I don't know when else to push for her now that we got the Cantina. Yeah, I don't know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I was waffling on just putting all new on my list. So Tim, like adding Saw Gerrera, 2 tubes, Luthen, things like that, and it was like,
But you put another Luke on there. Oh,
I did. I know, and Chris gave the thumbs down because he knew I was going to take some OT off there. But I really want, an updated Boba Fett and 3PO, probably more than the Luke. But anyways, we have all this prequel love, right, coming. So I definitely want to see some of those as well, updated, and hopefully we see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good that they pipeline Padme. That's a good one. That's one that a lot of people have wanted. So,
in Shakti too. That was a good one to cross off.
Yeah.
People have joked, they've joked like, oh, it's probably going to be another Glup, third year in a row of a Glup, and I don't know if I see that happening this year. I really don't.
Yeah, I wonder how Arlyle's going to do, if people are just going to say, he's coming in the pack, or message has been sent, or if you could take it all again. I don't know.
Those are my 2 reasons for taking him off my list.
Yeah,
same.
Message been sent, and probably coming in that pack, especially since we know the digital renders don't, or the 3D printed prototypes don't matter, because they still have to cut the tooling. But in the case of our Leo, they're using the legs from Jod, so they do have some of that tooling done.
Exclusive Arlyle reveal right here. There he is.
That's a good point, actually, John. Have you got the John Mustache?
Yes.
Do you have the new Ben Kenobi?
I don't have him open because he's only 1 per case, and I only have the case right now.
So his legs.
Yeah, Evan was doing a deep dive on. We were staring at old men's boots and knees and feet for a very long time one night. But are you asking if they're reusable for anything?
Well, they're just, they're not. They're nowhere near his prequel.
They're near. I think they're similar to his Revenge of the Sith ones. They're not 100% exact. I think like the little piece in the front needs to go up all the way, and there's some circular rings around the top that shouldn't be there. It's almost kind of between his. I believe in episode 1 and 2 they're the same. Episode 3 they're different, and these are almost kind of in between. Nice. I will say on this wave, I got the bubble rub. The Ring of Death is back on this for me anyway.
Crazy.
I don't know. Maybe it was put in the Entertainment Earth box the wrong way or something. But that and the Shock Troopers case that I got, they all have the Ring of Death yet again.
That's poor form.
So there's only one Obi-Wan in this case. I'm waiting on my opener from Pulse, but yeah.
Did that case ship from EE yet?
Mine did, yeah.
Oh,
It arrived this past week. So I opened the rest of them last night. They're pretty good.
That means that's another credit card bill coming.
Yeah, everything
And when-
came at once. I have so much to open still.
John, when did you and Evan do a deep dive on Obi-Wan? Where did you do that?
Just privately, that was for our own personal enjoyment.
Oh,
So we're going to.
Oh,
we're-
right. Doing things you're not going to share with the community. Oh, okay.
We got it. We do
right.
that. We do that first, and then that becomes half of our stuff.
Private session.
Yes. We'll share it. We'll share it one day, because it is interesting. Because I don't know if we don't really ever see Alec Guinness's boots, right, in A New Hope, which is something like you think you know what they look like, but you realize you actually don't. And in the comment section,
He's got the same slippers on as Moff Tarkin.
Yeah. You see the bottom of it. You see like the grips on the bottom of his shoe when he's kneeling down to like check on Luke after the Tusken attack. But that's like all you see of it. I think that was in Bantha Skull comments or Rebel Scum forums, or somebody was talking about it somewhere. But yeah, so I don't know what the reference is on this one.
Okay. Yeah, curious if you knew if they match any other Jedi or.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to look at that.
I swear I was looking at a figure the other day that I thought had already used those legs.
I don't know. Like, I'm surprised they haven't reused.
It was.
I remember we talked about like the Acolyte tooling, how it's not 100% prequel accurate, but like they could be using the upper legs and stuff like that, or the boots for different Jedi. I'm sure. Like Saci and Aegon, those figures seem to have the same legs. Tanith took some images in Canada.
That might have been it, actually. Was it? Do those figures not use the same legs as the old Ben?
I don't know. Maybe upper legs, but they use different boots, I believe.
Right.
But it's one of these things where it's like, yeah, you'd think they would have used, if there's no real reference for what Obi-Wan was wearing in A New Hope, they could have given him accurate Revenge of the Sith boots to, future proof that or whatever. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking, because obviously it's just, covered by the soft goods, isn't it? So
yeah.
Is there any like? I wonder if there's a Lucasfilm archive reference to to the costume somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe it's in that. Is it in the costume book you have, Miko?
Oh, I can check.
I'd be interested to know, but one day.
Yeah. His knees are really interesting too. Like,
yeah.
It's like they're super. You can see the joints, right? Like,
wow.
Really good.
Yeah.
And it's really obviously easy to make him sit, but it's probably brown molded and then painted the lower legs, but they're almost glaring, but it doesn't matter, right? Because
right,
these guys.
And the Jedi Spirits version has a sculpted skirt, so then they can do that version where you just paint him normal colors in a couple years. On the alt card for the 50th anniversary, he's number 11 on my list. Just kidding, but
good stuff.
I just love that this figure can do the
zoom it in,
sacrifice.
Bring it in.
The sacrifice pose through articulation.
Yeah.
I've still been using the Force Link one that had kind of the two arms on the It was kind of novel articulation on like two pegs, and you could bring the hands came together in the middle to do the sacrifice pose.
Yeah.
Even though he needs his hood up, but
But he needs his hood up, yeah.
For that and for the land speeder and stuff, but
yeah.
I'll say.
Have you tried snipping the little thread on the hood to see what it looks like? I only had one Ben. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Brett did it. Brett did it for the gallery on Bantha Skull. He snipped it and then he used blue tack to pin it down. It looked pretty good.
Right.
So I will be. I have 2 cases of this, and I already have 4 from Amazon, and then I don't know how many I ordered from Pulse, and the one from the case, and so I'll be experimenting lots of different ways.
Well,
the soft goods.
This figure does a great job with the two-piece, the separate hair to head. You know, where I feel like there's been I haven't received my Han yet, but I think that's some of the feedback on Han is his hair is a little too. Is it too big or too thick?
It's too lustrous.
Leia kind of has that going on too. It's a little too thick. But for Ben, it's absolutely amazing.
Nice.
It's like perfect.
I opened Han and I agree it's large, but in different scenes of the movie, it's like he's using different conditioners throughout the
different humidity
time or so. Yeah. The Death Star had the humidity turned up, but yeah, I'm still not 100% sure how I feel about that execution on that figure, but it's not awful. It does give me more Return of the Jedi vibes. He looks stockier just because the vest is so big.
Yeah.
And then the sleeves being like so like barely up. I don't know.
And the wrist being cankles, the cankle wrists.
Yeah.
But if you take that vest off, he's actually proportional.
Yeah, he's really.
That's the sin of it.
So I don't know if the vest is just a little too thick or something, but
throw it in the dryer. We'll get it corrected.
No, I'm happy with the Ben. I think it's a great figure.
It's amazing.
Really happy with it.
Nice.
All right then, guys. Always good to have you on. Been a pleasure, Johnny Mustache. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's been great as always.
Thank you.
Miko, just quickly run over the dates. Like, when are we next? Just the cut-off points for everything and what's happening there.
So we this is the submission period. It's gonna go through Friday, October 3rd. It will end late night, October 3rd, and then we will go into our big tuna tallying submission 2 weeks, right? So from the 4th through the 17th, right, we'll be scrubbing and cleansing and well, I shouldn't say we, Chris. Well, and then we'll be preparing the top 12 overall, and we will have a live stream on October 18th to unveil them.
Yeah,
and I'm sure we'll unveil a couple honorary mentions that were probably maybe close to the top 12. We'll see how those numbers fall. And then we'll go through round one voting. Round one voting will happen, when we kick it off during the stream and go through that Wednesday. And then we will reveal a top 6 on the 24th.
And no live stream unlike past years, no live stream for these middle rounds.
That's many live streams.
Yeah. We're gonna unveil that on the 24th, Friday the 24th. Then we'll go through round 2 voting through the 29th, the Wednesday. Then on that Friday, we will unveil the top 4 on Friday of Halloween. And then we will, that's no live stream, just your top 4. Then we're going to go through round 3 voting. And we will unveil the finalists on a live stream on November 8th.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through last figure standing voting through Wednesday the 12th. And then we will do the last figure standing reveal live stream on the 15th.
Good. There you go, guys. So yeah, essentially it's like 2 less live streams or 1 less live stream. I can't remember. 2 less live streams. 2 less live streams. Yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you everybody in the chat for joining us today. Big shout out to John and Chris that do a lot more work on this than I do. I do know that, guys. You don't need to tell me. But yeah, no, appreciate you guys and appreciate everybody in the chat.
I'll ship you some spreadsheets so you can do some cleaning of the data.
Yeah, I'm happy to help you out with that, buddy. Yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, happy to help.
Everybody always says that, but when the rubber hits the road, Chris and I are the only guy, you know.
Yeah, we're like, oh, I'm busy this week, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, work.
Yeah, I got that thing.
And then Chris, if you're anything like me, I just have a vision. It's like The Shining, where he's just all alone, and that's what I feel like right before March Madness. So you might, I don't know if you're anything like me there, but
well, the only thing I can't figure out is I get physically tired from doing it. Like I feel like I've been like doing yard work or something for some reason.
Yeah.
It's probably just all the tension I'm carrying doing it.
So you're doing a lot of mental. It's a lot of mental energy. And a lot of staring at the screen for.
It's because you're sitting there going, "Why the hell have you picked that? You stupid!" Oh no, you didn't.
It's more like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
This character appeared in.
I have no idea what this is. I gotta go look it up. And
character was in a book, one chapter of one book from 1996. Yeah. All right, I'm glad it connected with you, bud. But we got more pressing matters, I think.
I was supposed to say, Hayes L3 asked, "Is Slave Leia a wasted vote?" I would say definitely not. If you want that, put in your list.
Before we go, quick question for you, John. Where did John Miko get that displace case from?
Beautiful.
Yeah, well, there are ones you can buy depending on the size you want, right? There's like Star Wars cabinet display, a few different ones, right? Tim, I know you have one from probably a UK maker, but I had this one custom made from just a custom cabinet maker local to me, and then the vinyl I bought from the Facebook account that has Star Wars cabinets or Star Wars displays. So you can use a local custom cabinet maker, or you can buy one online from someone who makes them. The ones typically online are a little smaller, or it's just, how do you ship something like this, if you want it that big?
Yeah, so I don't know if I can get mine. There's mine.
Yeah,
oh yes,
there it is.
That's a that's not a custom. It's like, they come like that basically. Loads, I would imagine quite a lot of people have got them. You can buy them for the original 96, or you can buy ones with the original 96 and Jabba and the Max Rebo band, things like that for your vintage figures. But I do know my buddy Gary Moore, for example, what he's done, he's bought two. So he's got the original 96 vintage figures, and then he's trying to replicate modern,
That's
so he
awesome.
really wants, ideally he wants Hasbro to do vintage collection, the complete 96. But obviously he's got placeholders in there for like the Ugnaught and things like that from the Legacy collection and what have you. But they're not cheap. These things aren't cheap. I'll just put that out there. They're not. And especially the one I have, because it's in the UK, the shipping to America is, it's pretty expensive. But yeah.
Yeah, I think mine's 7 feet tall.
Yeah, yours is huge. Yeah,
it's almost as tall as John and Chris and Tim. Tall bastards.
John, I'm 6'2", and John would dwarf me.
Wow.
I've seen photos of him next to other people that I know are tall.
I'm 6'6", so you'd be close.
Wow,
yeah,
that's amazing.
I said before, that was fun after Japan, standing next to Chris Reif and Jing. They're not the tallest people in the world. And then I was being filmed by my friend, who's only a couple inches shorter than me, and so it was very, from my perspective, but. Like, holy crap.
The photo I had was of you next to Jason from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, bloody hell, John's tall.
I'm a lot bigger than on the live stream screen, So.
Yeah. Okay, cool, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Is anything else I need to mention before I go that I haven't forgotten? No. All right, then, guys.
Submit your list. Don't just post it. So actually submit it at the link.
Yes. Use the form. Hit submit. Get an email.
Use the form and
Use
the form,
Luke.
Yes. Cheers, guys. Appreciate it. We're going to end the stream. So thank you for everybody that's been watching. Submit your lists.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
See you, everyone.